I hope you're having a great day. Silver Trade here again with another video, and I gotta say, it is great to finally be back. On paper, GameStop is unbelievably undervalued, and banks are buying in. But please remember, none of this is financial advice, we are not financial advisors, and this video is made for entertainment purposes only. To start things off, XRT's short interest is at 587%. I could rant about that for 20 minutes, but we'll make that its own video. And for the first time, this little red circle says 100% on stocks. I've never seen that before. Normally it says 99. I wonder what it could mean. And you and I already know this, but it looks like the rest of the world is finally catching on. Investors Observe posted, "Is GameStop becoming a modern-day Berkshire? Early investors say Wall Street is missing its second act." GameStop's newest revenue stream with the Power Packs website has been a huge success, but with their over $8 billion in cash, there's nothing saying that they have to stay in the video game and collectibles market. They could do anything with that $8 billion. They could get into drones, AI, oil, it doesn't matter. And even if it takes them a while to figure out what they want to do with their war chest of money, that's okay. Every single day, they're collecting over $1 million in interest on that money. At like 4.71% every year, I think. And while we're on the subject of Berkshire Hathaway, Larry Chang, one of GameStop's board members, posted this recently. Warren Buffett on reputation. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things a little differently. If you lose money for the firm, I will be understanding. Lose a shred of reputation for the firm, and I will be ruthless. We can afford to lose money, even a lot of money, but we cannot afford to lose reputation, even a shred of reputation. Let's be sure that everything we do in business can be reported on the front page of a national newspaper. I believe Larry is posting this to show investors how serious GameStop is about their reputation. And it's just a great quote. And it's really funny how Warren Buffett says this because we've talked about it before where it's incredibly likely that a lot of GameStop's buy orders were being sent over to Berkshire Hathaway or, Goldman Sachs stock. We'll have to go over that again in another video, but it's so weird how just a couple of months after the GameStop sneeze back in 2021, Berkshire Hathaway stock has more volume than they've ever had in the last 30 or 40 years. Please comment down below if you would like me to go over that again. And good old Reese Politics, another massive GameStop buy order and pre-market was stuffed into the dark pool so that it wouldn't impact price. That's $13.5 million in 3 buy orders. GameStop has been in accumulation for a very long time, above the $22 price. We know this for a fact because the share price of GameStop has not really moved a ton in the last year, but the institutional ownership for GameStop has exploded. And eventually this accumulation phase will come to an end, and then that will start the markup phase, where GameStop will really start making some moves upwards. And I know it's been a long wait, but that's just the stock market. These things take time. And everything is really starting to line up in GameStop's favor. And ladies and gentlemen, GameStop is now trading below its total assets. Assets on August 2nd of 2025 were $10.34 billion, and the last time I checked, GameStop was trading at $22.92. So the market capitalization is only $10.27. And yes, GameStop is only trading below its assets value by about $70 million, but let's not forget, most of this $10.34 billion in assets that they have is in cash and Bitcoin. It's not like they have it all tied up in real estate. And I think a lot of people are realizing this as well. There have been a ton of posts talking about how GameStop is literally undervalued comparing its market cap to its total assets. And it's a profitable company, so that shouldn't really ever happen. Especially with its shareholder following being so large. And so I really think come Monday or next week, there's going to be a little bump in buy volume for GameStop. The entire market is red hot right now. Whether we're talking about stocks being at all-time highs, Pokemon cards being at all-time highs, or gold being at all-time highs, and people are still lining up out front of stores to buy Pokemon cards and gold. Everything's super expensive and overpriced right now, except for GameStop stock. I, for one, am getting pretty risk off right now. I'm really wanting to play it safe. Yes, everyone's been saying that the market's going to crash any day now for years, and we're in a huge bubble and yada yada yada, and that just hasn't happened yet. But I really see that coming to an end soon. Markets have seen some record years lately. Oracle, Nvidia, and Oracle, Nvidia, and AMD are just cycling money through each other to make it look like they're making a bunch of money, but really they're just passing around hundreds of billions of dollars. And gold topping, of course, makes any serious investor nervous. So I just want to let y'all know, I talked about PLCE Children's Place a couple of months ago when we were at about $6, right at about $6.01. I just want to let y'all know I am rolling out of that entirely now that we are up 25% in the last couple of months. I'm really happy with that, and in this environment, I'm looking to play it as safely as possible, so I'm going to completely roll out of that and look for new opportunities. And I will let y'all know if I see one. And thank you a million if you've made it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button for me and consider subscribing. Most people who talk about GameStop, they just turn on their mic or their camera and they really just rant for an extended period of time about the stock. I really want to make these videos as quick and as formative as possible for y'all. So I spend a ton of time editing and condensing down my recordings, which are normally an hour or two, down to 10 or 20 minutes. And I really hope y'all appreciate that, because I really appreciate you guys. And for every one new sub I get, I'm going to be donating $1 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital until we reach episode 200. For a while, I've slowed down my videos because I want to be making the best videos so that way I can get as many subs as possible and hit our goal of $500 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. But I really want to start making videos once again, so rather than worrying about making the best video possible, I'm just going to start posting again and getting back in the groove. And so far, we've raised over $250, which is such a blessing. Thank you guys so much. And you already know this, but GameStop is a cash cow in so many ways. Whether we're talking about them making over $1 million per day just in interest off of their cash, or if we're talking about their Power Packs website, which I cannot wait to see the revenue for, or if we're talking about the huge lines in front of GameStop every Saturday morning. GameStop as a franchise is killing it, and the stock price does not reflect how well they're doing at all. Nat Turner, the CEO of PSA, posted this on October 13th. It's a graph showing how Pokemon cards have outpaced the S&P 500, baseball cards, and Meta stock. You know, Facebook, Instagram, the social media company. Obviously, Pokemon cards have had a huge run recently, just like they did back in 2020. Weird, gold was also running pretty hard back in 2020 as well. The AI bubble is 17 times larger than the dot-com bubble, analysts says. And we all know we're in a bubble. Here's another example. The Warren Buffett indicator is a valuation metric that divides the total US stock market capitalization by the country's gross domestic product, or GDP, to assess if stocks are overvalued relative to the economy. It's considered by Buffett to be the best single measure of market valuation at a given time. A high ratio, particularly when it exceeds 100% and approaches 200%, signals that stock prices may be stretched and the market could be overvalued, sometimes referred to as playing with fire. Long story short, this is Warren Buffett's favorite way to figure out if markets are actually overvalued or not. And here's the chart for that. As you can see, we're at all-time highs, above 200%. Back in 2020, before the crash, we didn't even hit 150%. And just a couple of days ago, we saw 168 billion shares of cat airs in just a span of 3 days. Back on September 25th, we saw 36 billion cat airs. And then on October 1st, we saw another 120 billion cat airs. And then just a couple of days later, on October 6th, we saw another 13 billion cat airs. In total, bringing us to 168 billion cat airs, which is almost twice as high as we have ever seen before. Here's a post from our favorite Region Formal. He put together every time that we've ever seen cat airs in the billions. The highest we've ever seen before was 85 billion, but now we're seeing almost twice as much as that. Oh yeah, and here's his chart explaining how whenever we see a whole bunch of cat airs, typically we see a decent little run in GameStop's price over the next 35 days, calendar days. And whenever we go to 70 days after seeing a large jump in cat airs, we almost always see an appreciation in GameStop's price. And the really funny thing is, and we've talked about this before, the cat airs number is getting larger and larger. Back in 2022, we only had 4 billion. And then 2023 rolled around, we start seeing like 8 billion, 3 billion, 7 billion in 2024. And then now that we're in 2025, we're seeing 11 billion, 85 billion, and now 168 billion. They're never actually fixing these cat errors. Somehow they're just rotating themselves back into more cat errors. And so that number is just going to continuously get larger and larger. And it's just going to stick out like a sore thumb that nobody's paying attention to. And if Roaring Kitty were to just randomly come back and then the stock price doubles overnight, you know how he does it. I wonder what that would do to those billions of cat errors. And just a few more things, please bear with me. Thomas Peter Fye, CEO of Interactive Brokers, once again confirmed in a recent interview that the price in 2021 would have gone to infinity if the buy button wasn't shut off. And remember, in some of Roaring Kitty's memes, he talks about a recool. Maybe they recreate the situation from back in 2020 and 2021. In my opinion, there's never been a better time than right now for GameStop to buy shares of their company. The price is nice and low, they have the cash to do it, and they know that once they report that Power Pack's income, their share price is going to positively reflect on that. And seriously, there are huge lines in front of almost every GameStop every Saturday. They are doing great. And now a few really quick things about AMC. Adam Aaron posted this recently. Gold prices are soaring. AMC's Hycroft shares and warrants are again worth more than what we paid for them. Our shareholders enjoyed that investment, but the smart money on Wall Street laughed at us. With gold prices now above $4,275 per ounce, who's laughing now? Ha ha ha. And please don't come down on me too hard for this. I am not looking to spread FUD or anything like that. I do this as a hobby for fun, and I just want to state a few facts. Let's not forget, Adam Aaron was working for Apollo Capital Management for almost 10 years before he became CEO of AMC. And recently, Adam Aaron also posted this. This is real news, announced yesterday. AMC and Netflix. Netflix, the world's largest streaming service, and AMC Entertainment, the world's largest theater chain, have jointly decided to work together. This new cooperation will start this Halloween weekend. AMC will show Netflix's most popular movie in its history, K-pop Demon Hunters. It will play on approximately 400 AMC screens across its theaters in the US and Europe. While the two companies have not had a commercial relationship in recent years, both Netflix and AMC are intrigued by the mutually beneficial opportunities that could arise from this and future collaborations. Discussions are underway as to what that may entail, but no further details are being shared at this time. This could be huge for AMC's share price and their investors, and AMC as a company in general. I mean, the options are limitless whenever you're talking about companies as large as AMC and Netflix working together. This could be the start of something really big for AMC. But I just wanted to make you aware that right now AMC's free float is 433 million shares. They have an authorized cap of 550 million shares. So that means at any point whenever AMC wants to, they can issue another 117 million shares for any reason, which would dilute their stock by another 20 to 25%. And for whatever reason, whenever AMC starts moving up a little bit, they like to sell shares into it, and so I just wanted to make you aware of this. And to be fair, GameStop is authorized to issue up to 1 billion shares. So if they wanted to, they could actually issue more shares than even AMC. But thank you a million if you've made it to the end. I hope you found value in this, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much, and God bless you.